Okay, I wanted to go through some functionality here on the question that you raised about archiving teams and channels. So I'm going to use this team here called security training as a test. So the answer is yes, we can archive them. You probably know that already, but I'm going to show you, and we're going to run through it here and just see how it works and see how this might work in your situation. So we see it here now there. So I'm going to go into Teams backend, the Teams admin. There's a lot of functions here, so we're going to focus in on just some main functionality here, listing all our teams. There it is there. So we simply select it and we choose archive. So when we do that, we are asked, we have this option, make the SharePoint site read only for team members, and I'm going to go ahead and select that, and then I'm going to click archive. So we're going to notice right away, here I'll bring this back, that it's gone. It actually shows up here, but only for, in fact it's gone already. So it's gone from the view now, which is good for you guys, because the way we're anticipating it is, you know, for a lot of your team, you're going to be working in teams. So the fact that it's gone means it's gone for them. It's out of sight, out of mind. It's gone. However, on the back end and in SharePoint, it's not gone. So first of all, you remember that every team is a site. So if we look under sites, I'll just refresh, it's still there. And that's because we've now basically, we've kind of separated it. We've got our teams and the chats and stuff like that, but we've still got the SharePoint site, which is not archived, it's still there. But they would have to get to it, you know, through the back end. If they went to online and went to SharePoint, let's see here. Yeah, if they went to their main SharePoint site, and if they went to security training, then yes, they would see it here. They would go to the documents, they would see it there. Now, we did set it to be read-only, so they would not be able to edit any of the data, but it's still there. By the way, that's the owners would still be able to edit or add to it, etc., but the regular members would not be. And then on to the question of then, can we move the data? I mean, it's a yes and a no. These two folders here are channels, so they cannot be moved. If we try to move them, there's no option to move them. Individual files, though, whether they're out here or whether they're inside, if I do all of them, we can move them. So I could move these to anywhere, any other site on your platform. It can go anywhere and it would move. So we can move the files, but not those two, not these main folders, which in this case are channels. If I created a new folder in here that wasn't a channel, we could move that. The reason it's not letting us move these is because they're channels. We can copy them, so we could go that route. If you wanted to move it, you'd have to go copy to, and it would copy the whole thing over, and then you'd have to come back, go into the folder and delete everything. Or if you want to do it another way, you could create a folder in the area where it's going and then come back and move all the files into it, but this main folder would stay here, and if you emptied it, then you know it would be empty. Of course, when you unarchived, if you ever did unarchive the team, which you can do through that same interface, we could go back here and unarchive, and if we do that and we go back to Teams here, we will see it shows up here under hidden items, but we can simply click show and it'll show up and it's there. Now, and our files are still here, but of course, if we moved them, they wouldn't be there. You've broken that link, so it would be just empty, right? So in your case, I think it's doable because folks are mostly working out of Teams and they shouldn't be really going in through SharePoint into the team folders. And so that functionality might be enough. And the fact that you can move them if you wanted to archive the files to a central location, you could do that. In some cases, there's a couple extra clicks because you can't move channel folders, but it's definitely doable.